at a big level, like top tier artists. Like the label made you and your boy arch enemies. Like, that was my boy. Yeah, I remember that video. Yeah, God dang. Yeah, man, no, it wasn't man. You don't need to communicate.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
And there's one other thing I want to just bring up real quick. Me personally, this is me. I'm not putting this on nobody else. I personally feel that a client always should get a lawyer before they get the manager. I personally feel that because I feel like the lawyer needs to sit down with the manager and figure out what the game plan is for this artist and just give and have some kind of understanding of what their client is signing into. I see a lot of times when people bring their moms, their dads, their cousin, their friend to be a manager and don't really discuss what that means. And this is the most important relationship because, first of all, I think managers got the worst position. They're the ones who get no credit and all the blame. And when the artist is doing well, the artist is just doing well.
I don't need you no more.
And so then it's a lot of, y'all jobs is to always keep, and this, to keep us out of the courtroom, not to get us in the courtroom, to make sure that we have some kind of communication where everybody understands their roles and everybody plays their roles. Because at the point you guys are at, you're dealing with a lot of people who don't know nothing. So they're going to be sensitive about everything.
And as creative people, they are sensitive with a capital S.
Yeah.
Like Superman with a big S.
So you're going to be a psychiatrist. So get your social skills and your psychological skills in order because you're going to have a lot of people on the couch. And you got to have relationships, like you said earlier. The relationships are about being able to direct them through certain things because they're going to have a trust factor. Because you're the legal person. So once they do get comfortable with you, then they're going to be like, okay, I don't understand this part. You're going to find out there's a lot of stuff, especially when you get those clients that don't carry ID around. They don't carry ID. So, you don't know what else they don't know.
Yeah. That's definitely an important point. And then the trust piece that you talked about, and sometimes for me, it's just the level of trust. You think, wow, this person really trusts me. I have one client that I need you to come and sign this document. I know you're traveling, but you need to make it around to my office. Well, can't you just sign it? You need to come here and sign this so we can understand. But when you realize the level of trust that
And with that, the power of attorney don't let the managers.
Oh yeah, that's a whole. So we're going to open up the floor for questions now. Anyone have questions?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Back to your mechanicals that you were saying. What happens if you've produced the track, you've written the track, but you've hired somebody for the hook, let's say for instance, to sing that hook?
Is it work for hire?
Didn't pay him work for hire, but as a friend, I'm going to give him his points that he is due, but he didn't write, he didn't do anything.
He didn't write, he just
He
referenced.
just came and sung the song.
Just reference.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, that's just basically a payment. It's really that's really more of a work for hire because they really have nothing to
Just
do
give him
with
what basically.
They have nothing to do with.
They can't come back and get
Right. But I will tell you guys this, that a lot of times in our industry, artists are getting smarter. A lot of these artists that are getting the deals are realizing that they didn't really get it. A lot of them may not be writers or producers. So now, depending on who the client is, they're asking for a cut of their publishing as a part of that relationship. They're like, I'm not going to record the record. I don't care if it's a hit record. I want a cut of that publishing now. And your client, based on them maybe being a first-time producer, first-time or whatever the case may be, they don't know how that works. I don't want you to make them feel like it's a bad thing. It's all based on their situation. If they're in a position where they can say no and walk away from their situation, fine. If they're not, don't tell them that they can't give up their publishing. They're going to have to. They're going to have to just negotiate that because they need that placement. And they need as many of those placements as they can get. And that means they're going to pay their dues in the beginning, which is going back to what we were saying about things that you got to understand your client and understand the circumstance of your client. No, we don't want nobody to give up their publishing. I think that's terrible. But if your client is in a position where they need that placement, and that's the one thing that's keeping them from getting the placement, as long as they're not giving up all of their publishing, then I'm with it.
I had a question sort of for Horace. How close is your relationship to like performance rights organizations, and do you deal with all of the royalties that come in, or does the lawyer have a part in that, or how's that relationship?
The lawyer has a part of it, but you'll have to have, well, in my position, like an attorney, I deal with everybody. Unlike an artist might be signed to say just BMI, or you might be signed to both BMI and ASCAP. That might be a long story we can't get into. But
Different names.
But the relationships, just like your attorney has to have relationships, we have to have relationships too. And for some people, let's just say you're a top tier artist and you have a situation where you might have a legal situation and you can't afford to be on tour right now because you're in a situation. You can call that PRO and get an advance on your royalties with your attorney. So that's all relational. You know what I'm saying? So